Hi guys, this is Al with the Let's Get It podcast. We're back again, 2020. I got two very special guests with me today. I have Angel and I have Allan with me, two young professionals in the industry. And today I'm going to ask them a few questions because I feel these days there's a small disconnect as far as my generation and where the industry is going at such a fast pace. So fast we're talking like you're ordering from your phone, whereas before you used to call in the order and maybe get delivered, maybe go pick it up. So what I want you guys to do to my guests and my audience is introduce yourself to them, and then I'll start asking you guys a few questions, and then we'll kind of go from there.
All right. Well, my name is Angel Machado. I'm currently working on opening a restaurant called Bull and Butterfly in Playa Vista. I've been working in the industry, give or take 9 years. You know, my dad's a chef, and he brought me in the industry really early on in life. So, thank him for that. I've had the chance to develop quickly in the industry, and have a step ahead, if not, anything else.
Okay.
My name's Allan Hernandez. I'm an aspiring chef. I'm still in the process, in the works, I guess. I've been also working in the industry, though, about 7 years. Also attending culinary school, too, as well. Still currently attending. Probably still have about a year left, but working on that and see what goes on from there. Yeah, pretty much it.
So what made you get into the industry?
So those 7 years haven't been consistent. All 7 years. First 2 years, I actually worked at a restaurant that my parents owned. So that's really what first opened my eyes to it, I guess. But before that, my grandma had been in the kitchen forever. My mom cooks, So I've been in the kitchen with my grandma since I was, since I could walk. So basically my whole life I've been interested in the kitchen. So those 2 years, 2 years that I spent in the first 2 years were in my parents' kitchen. I'm 12 at that point, so I'm just working in the back, making burritos, putting chile verde, chile colorado on plates, simple stuff, making a mess. Yeah, but I'm loving it because this is my first introduction. But I'm loving it though. I'm learning.
So both families, dad's a chef. Was your dad a chef or just a restaurant owner?
He was a restaurant owner, and he's been in the food industry for 25 years, 30 years, just as a waiter at first, but now he's been a bartender, manager. He's been everything at a restaurant, all Mexican restaurants. So that's his thing. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah. So he's just the management aspect of it, I guess. Yeah.
And you had firsthand where your dad was actually a chef, working at really nice places in LA. Yeah. So you had firsthand bringing home really good eats.
yeah, I could say I was lucky in that aspect. My dad has an amazing resume. He's worked at some of the best restaurants in LA. He's, newspaper mentions, the whole nine. So I've had a great role model as far as work ethic, which I feel is very important in the industry. Love for the food, man, is something you could teach, but it takes time.
Right.
To treat something with love and really make sure you're putting your best foot out there. Your best effort is something that took him a long time to teach me.
Right. So by work ethic, you meaning you're seeing him every day, get up on the grind, come home when the sun comes down, to say the least. Gone 5-6 days a week.
Good.
So talking about work ethic, you guys have been in the industry for over a few years actually. How does work ethic tie into when you guys go in there, you guys have your work ethic, your drive to get it done? What do you guys see amongst your peers? Meaning, how often are they showing up late? Are they texting and calling in sick? Are they doing a half-assed job? Work ethic, when you guys see it from a 1 to 10, 10 meaning they're on it, and a 1 meaning they're barely showing up to work. What do you guys see out there?
Well, I feel like every restaurant I've ever worked at, it's a scale, spectrum, if you will, where every restaurant has that 10 scale kind of guy who fucking is banging things out, and is really doing his thing. And everybody has those ones, those slackers, the ones who are not carrying their weight, and I feel like that's a a huge problem in the industry right now, to where those workhorses, like, you know, people who really are doing their part, and typically from from what I've seen, the chefs are harder on them because they expect more from them. You know, they expect them to be able to do more, and they care more, so they know that when they tell them something, regardless of how it may come across, that they are really.
They're talking to the number 10 guys.
Yeah, they're absorbing that. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and those number 1 guys kind of just fall through the cracks, as far as they just kind of get away with just moseying about, you know. And I feel like chefs in LA anyway, it's hard to keep a staffed kitchen, you know. So those kind of guys, just they're there, you know.
Their bodies,
and sometimes they're necessity. So, you know, I feel like the morale is really lowered by those 1 guys, you know.
Right.
So
right.
You see it all in a restaurant. You see it 10, 5s, 1s. You see them all.
What do you see?
For me, I mean, the work ethic, same as him.
And you're in school right now, so you can talk about the students also.
Well, for me, being taught work ethic at a number 10, because my dad, since he's always been in the industry, he's also always worked 6 days a week, you know, 1 p.m. to 1 a.m. And so me growing up with that and learning how much he's working, you know, I have a pretty good work ethic. And when I started school, I thought, you know, most of these people were going to come in with the same, you know, enthusiasm and effort as I was. And I'd say, you know, maybe say a third, you know, 33% of us going into it are these kids coming into the Silmar program are coming out of high school. So they're coming with no work experience.
No life experience.
No, they haven't had a job yet. You know, they're still taking general ed classes, which is fine and all. But when they come into the culinary class, they pick up a knife and they're cutting themselves. They're doing what they watch on TV, on the media that they're exposed to. You know, those tasty videos, those stuff like that. They're banging on like the cutting tables because they're just like, ooh, I'm chopping, I'm doing stuff like that.
What goes through your mind? Do you want to say something like, do I say something? Do I break left and just let them do the thing? Because they're bringing down the whole team. Yeah. You got to pick up the slack. Whether you believe it or not, you got to pick up the slack.
You know, I feel like there's a lot of other aspects that would go into my decision as far as whether I would say something or not, whether it directly relates to me. Does it affect me personally?
They're working the station with you now.
Right. Okay, so they're working the station with me. Right. Listen, I'm straightforward kind of guy.
Right.
No sugarcoating, no bullshit, right? Listen, bro, this is what I need you to do. You know, you're gonna move faster, you're gonna get out of my way, you know?
Right.
You got 2 options, bro.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And typically, it's more of a thing where they just don't know, so they just can't, you know, keep the pace or whatever. And then it's okay. Now it's a teaching environment. It's no longer I have to shit on you environment. It's a learning environment. It's different.
Right.
But then you come across those guys where you're like, listen, I need you to do this. I need you to pick up your game. You know, and they're just not in the same mindset you are. They don't want to give it their best, or they don't want to learn. And then it's kind of more, you know, now you're in my way. Now you need to go to a different station. You need to do something else. You know?
Right. Say something and not say something.
On my aspect, so being in the school part, being in the classroom, like you said, we're all a team, so we're all being graded and stuff. So at that point, I am saying something because they're bringing down the whole class. They're, you know, not keeping up and all.
Well, that one thing that remained the same.
Yeah.
When I got done with school, it was the same thing. The only thing different with us is that they'll just tell you to leave.
Yeah.
Back then, the professor would be like, you know what? We had a good run. This ain't for you. So every day I go to school, there's someone outside crying. Got the knife bag, their uniform, crying. Because we know it's just not worth it.
Yeah. You
having the name, we had a booklet of jobs. So when we send you to wherever, you got to represent. So me sugarcoating things, but I'm asking you guys this now because I know it's different. Yeah. Everyone wear their feelings on their sleeve, and you can't say this, and you can't say that. So I'm asking you guys this because as an owner or as someone starting to hire younger people, we need to know how to talk to people in a way that we got to get the job done, but I'm not your nanny. So that's why I'm looking to you guys as far as like, how would you guys interact with these people, well, these individuals, to get the job done. Do you want management to deal with it, or do you feel that you guys are working side by side, that they'll pick up your energy, your pace, your drive, your work ethic, or does management need to train them?
I definitely feel that there's some training aspect involved in that, but at the end of the day, you're all going to be management. And at some point, I'm management now, thank God, and I have to deal with it. You know, I've learned to become somewhat of a chameleon, to adapt to different people's personalities.
Right.
I've had to learn to be able to extract the most out of someone, you know, in the best possible way, and speaking to them definitely correlates to that. So different personalities require different attentiveness, you know, how would I say, the way you deliver something, the delivery of something has to change person to person. You know, you can do two different personalities the same thing in the same way, and one might get offended and one might not.
I think it's maybe finding the best way to relate to them, the best way to finding a common, you know, ground to something, you know, to something relating to, you know, the job at hand, the whatever the task is.
The reason I'm so adamant about this question, as you guys move into management, you're not going to have time for that.
Yeah, that's true.
You have the manager, GM coming to you for, we have this event, specials for the day, line up with the servers, your purveyor forgot to place an order in time, is coming in late. You're going to have a clipboard of stuff to do.
Yeah.
So you guys say, okay, this person's sensitive, this person's my go-getter, this person's this person's that. That's why I'm really hammering this home. And I'm not saying one answer you guys are going to give me is going to solve everything. But at least if we have a common denominator, you can say, what I've noticed, I go about it this way, and it normally works. But think about that. We'll come back to it. Do you think a chef is needed in the kitchen these days?
Yeah, I'd say like a chef to oversee everything, probably.
Right.
Like, definitely in that aspect to, you know, keep that person next to you, you know, on point, and, you know, get the task complete.
Maybe not exactly who one might think, not maybe the head chef, maybe the executive chef, because I understand more than anyone that paperwork is definitely important. You know, all that, it also is, you know, goes hand in hand with the kitchen. It's just as important. So, you know, every executive chef, every good CDC has a good sous chef, and that's the chef that's needed in the kitchen. You know, someone to oversee the food aspect of it and make sure everything is getting pushed out smoothly and nicely, tastes good, and, you know, on time, all that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, maybe not the head chef doesn't have to be there, but definitely a chef.
What's the difference between a lead line cook and a sous chef?
Well, see, probably the line cook just be at a certain shift, you know, during the busy hours. You know, he's, you know, overseeing the line and taking charge. The sous chef can be there at any point, you know, because chef trusts him more, and, you know, more responsibility, stuff like that.
Okay.
I feel like a lead line cook worries about the line, you know, the people on the line, nothing outside of that bubble. A sous chef oversees the restaurant, so it's no longer just about the kitchen, it's about everything, you know, scheduling, orders, you know, did this come in, did this not come in, are we gonna have the special of the day, you know, like you said, you know, meetings, all that. You get pulled away for certain things, you know. I've had chefs be like, I don't want to go to this meeting, you're going to this meeting,
Right.
on top of everything else you're doing, so figure it out.
Right.
And you wouldn't tell that to, you know, a lead line cook, whatever, you oversee every dishes.
That extra
you know,
responsibility.
that lead line cook is never going to think about a dishwasher, or is that dishwasher pushing out appropriately, you know, and the sous chef does, oversees a lot more than, you know, the line.
Wow, good. No, I have nothing to add to that. I think you're right on it. One thing I will add about a lead line cook, a lead line cook needs to be able to jump to anybody's station at any given time.
Yeah.
So if whoever's working whatever line, if you're going down, that lead line guy say move. Show you how it's done, get those tickets out, and then put you back in place. And that's his claim to fame. So no matter what goes down, that's his crew. You know, when it comes down to it, that's his crew. I mean, the sous chef will come in also and be like, let me show you, I could jump in with you and get it done, no big deal. but the lead line guy, that's the role that he plays. Because sometimes even a fry guy might be intimidated by the sous chef or the chef. The lead line guy is almost his right-hand guy in battle. He knows no matter what happens, this guy got my back, no matter what. Now, sometimes you don't have the luxury of having a lead line guy. Sometimes the sous chef is the lead line guy. He's a sous chef with the ordering. When service starts, he becomes a lead line guy, gets it going, then he steps out. So just depending how big the establishment is, but pretty much, same thing. When you guys started this, what were 2 surprises that caught you off guard? When you think, okay, I'm working at, restaurant, put out good food, learn stuff, what have you. What was 2 surprises that caught you off guard that you didn't know about?
I'd say for me, probably be, I knew, the whole yelling, the whole, get to it and all that, but being in culinary school, I thought I was gonna walk in, being taught and all this. But the chef there was actually, hey, get this done, when I did something wrong, like, yo, what the fuck, like, what did you do, like, actually cussed at me and all that stuff. It's like, whoa, like, what the hell, I'm at school, but after a couple of days, it's like no, this is actually the industry, this is it.
So you were shocked by him
just a little bit at you. Just because the environment I was in, my first semester at the school, I was like, still didn't know what was going on. The second thing, how time moves a little quicker when you're in the in the runs. I mean, right. How fast things cook.
Okay. What about you?
First thing, for me was the amount of talent out there. When I turned 18, I landed in a restaurant that just fucking put me in the shit. Really took me off my pedestal. They had guys on the line. They were just amazing cooks. What else could you call them? They were chefs, anywhere else. But in that restaurant, they were cooks. Everyone's cooks. Sous chefs, coming from Noma, working with Renee Zeppi, things like that, working for John and Vinny. Great cooks. And they're just on the line, and everyone's having a good time. And everything is just so precise. The amount of talent out there blew me away. Then, my girl got pregnant. I had a daughter. I had to step away from that small, fine dining atmosphere. I went to more of a corporate kind of hotel deal, and that was the second thing that just surprised me, the difference in a kitchen and that kitchen,
right.
The difference in how they run is just worlds apart, the amount of care and love that they put in this one isn't necessarily over here, and they could make a lot more money or the same amount of money, and it's just crazy to me how that doesn't, the work ethic and the amount of work that you put in something doesn't necessarily correlate to how much money you're going to be making.
And
you could be ran and operated completely different, and that doesn't mean anything. It's just the wide spectrum of kitchens. It was a shock to me.
So you were shocked that in a small establishment, things were really precise, love, intensity, focal point, like it almost makes you salivate.
Yeah, attention to detail.
Yeah, attention to detail. And then you move to the corporate side, and it's more volume. It's okay, no extra frills.
Well, see, the difference too was that I was used to working this high octane and extreme expectation, environment where it was a lot of pressure on you. So I got used to working that way. And when I landed in corporate, I stood out from the rest.
Right.
Everyone was.
What's wrong with this guy? Why is he running around?
Yeah.
Why does he have sauce spoons out? Like, what's going on with this guy?
Right. It was. So it makes you stand out, and that's how I became a sous chef so early on in life, because of the difference in the way the kitchen was operated. So I was used to this, and when I landed somewhere here and I could maintain my work ethic, you just
raise to the top a lot faster.
Yeah.
I always tell people, start off fine dining first, and after you get done with that, about 2-3 years, fine dining first. Once you leave there, you're home free. It's hard to start off catering, country club, hotel, depending on the hotel.
Get used to that easy life.
And then you can't do fine dining after that because you're stuck in your ways. You don't have the work ethic. You don't have the
bad habits stick the fastest.
Your bad habits. What is it when you were? I'm losing a word I'm trying to get here. Your endurance.
There you go.
Your endurance. You don't have that endurance because corporate. You go take your 15, take your 30. Go hang out at the loading dock, give or take if nothing's hot happening. No. fine dining, you show up early,
Yeah.
you stay late,
No break.
Knock it out.
and do it again tomorrow.
No break.
So you might get a break, run to the restroom real quick, snack on some whatever. My point is that your focal point is what's going out. That's your focal point. But I think I've seen people, once they go corporate, they think they're doing fine dining, and I'm like, bro, I hate to bear the news to you, but that's not refined food.
No, yeah.
You know, I want to take a break and give our shouts out to our sponsors really quick. Salt Catering, we're in their studio. This is our home, sweet home. Also, I want to give shouts out to Bliss Tea and Treats. I'm drinking this gunpowder here, and this stuff gets me so hyped up. I used to be an English breakfast fan. That's all I do now.
Breakfast.
You drink. It's a wrap. You drink this, it's over. If you had to choose a city to work in, what city and why? Any city in the world, you choose.
I'll go first. Singapore.
Oh wow. Okay.
And this is something I've thought about before.
Right.
Luckily. Dude, where else can you find Michelin stars on the street, brother?
Okay, yeah. You're right.
First of all, that in itself is a challenge.
Right.
You're not hot shit when you land in Singapore because this lady on the
That
street
lady.
has 2 Michelin stars. What
Right.
do you have? Right?
Right.
You know, and second, it's a challenge all on its own. I don't speak the language, which to me is something I want to do, you know, because thousands of chefs have done it, you know, worked somewhere where they don't speak the language and learned X, Y, and Z things, you know. So
What do they speak there? Mandarin? Chinese?
It's got to be Mandarin, no?
I feel like it's Mandarin.
I feel like.
Okay, we'll look it up
We'll
and
do
put
more
it in the
research.
bottom. Yeah.
But, you know, I just, the food scene out there is just incredible, man. You know, molecular gastronomy is very big out there. You know, a lot of deep flavors,
Yeah.
spices that
So
they
Singapore's your spot. Okay.
use. Not only do they draw from China, but also from the, you know,
All over.
Middle East.
They're surrounded with everybody.
Man,
And it's clean.
and it's clean.
I'm dying to see that city. I heard it's so clean. Like, that's my thing. But anyway, I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that.
I'm going to go with the cliche and just say that we're in the perfect city here
So
in
you're
LA.
going to go with Los Angeles?
Yeah.
Have you worked anywhere outside of California?
No, that's probably. Well, I mean, other than Arizona, but that was a
Yeah.
little.
Yeah, we'll
not
skip
the
it.
same. Yeah.
So you'll say you're LA native.
Yeah, just because I'm LA native. I mean, here's where I started working. But I just like the melting pot of everything. You know, what all the ingredients that we have available. You know, it's not all of them are local, but the capability, the ports, the airports, the ports on the shore, you know, that we're able to get anything basically and fresh, pretty fresh, you know. So just that and all the different restaurants that we have, all the food trucks, all the stands that we have. You know, there's a lot of food here in LA, and we're never gonna taste it all, but you know, I do want to taste a lot of it.
So what I want to do now, I want to do a speed round, and I'm gonna say a word, and we'll go Angel back and forth, and whatever comes to your mind, whatever word, you
Sounds
say
good.
whatever you want. So I just say the word, and you just go to town on it. Okay?
All right.
Fear.
Failure.
You said failure. Okay.
Brisk Nicholson.
Not being accepted after failure, you know, failing and then not being accepted by someone, but also, you know, I guess.
No,
that
you
makes sense.
be thinking into stuff way too deep. Like, you should be a philosopher down at USC or something. Too. Just
All right, my bad.
keep it like chicken
Too
soup,
long.
man. Just noodles,
Little
chicken broth, and
simple.
chicken. That's it.
you know.
No,
All right, Halloween.
So fear's Halloween. Okay.
Okay.
You see how easy that was? You see how easy that was?
Damn.
Social media.
You know, I'm not a huge social media guy. I mean, you know that. So I probably not the best guy to, you know, talk about it. I don't use it as much as the next guy, you know. So to me, it's unnecessary, I guess. It is a easier way of communicating with people, I will say. But I feel like that's not really
It's
what it's
unnecessary.
for anymore, you know.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'll let him go.
I mean, not big on social media, but I am on it. But I would say brainwash.
Good
Our
word.
whole
That's a big
generation,
word.
See?
the whole generation is brainwashed by
Nice.
just, you know, you have to be on your phone, you have to be typing, you have to be, what's next, what's new,
Very true.
you know, last week, the whole Kobe thing. People were lying off their ass just to get likes, just to get, damn, you're right. But people were wrong. A lot of people were wrong this past week.
Tiny little tidbit. There's only a few professional athletes that I admire their work ethic. And that's Michael Jordan, because he had a breakfast club. They'll work out at his house before practice, eat breakfast, and go to the gym and work out with the Bulls. So, and Kobe's work ethic. Playing injured. So that's all I'm going to say on it. It's a work ethic. If you don't take nothing from it, that's on you, but that's what gets me hyped up.
Yeah.
Hospitality industry 2020.
Very customer oriented. Customer's king type of deal,
Along with that, we're gonna keep evolving to all these different diets: the gluten frees, the vegetarian, the pescatarians.
Family.
Necessity for me anyway. When I was growing up, I had a very loving family, so I used to the environment, and luckily now I have a loving wife and daughter and another one on the way. I don't know if it's a boy or girl yet, but
congrats.
I definitely had to make time, and I've had to change more or less my work style because of it. I used to be the guy that was just day in, day out in the
work
restaurant,
whatever shift,
6 days a week, 7 days a week, 18 hours a day. I would just live in whatever restaurant I was working at the time. And I've had to change that. I've had to kind of step back. Gives a little more time to my family, So yeah, just adaptation. Family is definitely something you need to adapt to having in this industry.
Like you said, a necessity. It makes you. It's who you are. Your family, your parents, your whole, your aunts, uncles, your grandparents is what made you. They taught you how to be you. So it's your current family is also what makes you. It's what what gives you your goals in life currently. So it's just your makeup. Family is your makeup.
Yeah. Wow. Well, guys, thank you so much. We'll keep in touch with you guys. I know you're starting a new venture in less than a few weeks.
Yeah.
And you're going to be done with school in...
Hopefully in less than next semester I'll be done. But
so by the summer.
Yeah, by the summer. Hopefully.
By the summer. So yeah, we're checking with you guys for the holidays and see what's going on. And then I like to keep in touch with people on the show. But until then, this is Let's Get It podcast with Angel and the motivating football quarterback, team captain Allan.
Old lineman.
Yeah, and the lineman. So until next time, you guys take care.